If you're frustrated because you want to do more with your time and just be more productive in general, but you don't get anything done, and even if you try to plan things out, like you have a long list of things you want to do, or you make a detailed routine, a detailed schedule, but nothing happens, watch this video because I'm going to show you how to get out of that loop and start actually making progress on your goals by making a plan that you'll follow, a better plan than what you've been doing. Now, there are two types of people. The first person is they have a long list of things they want to do, and then they get overwhelmed by it when the day comes for them to do it and they don't do anything. Or they pick the easy items off that to-do list that makes them feel like they're being productive, but at the end of the night, they're like, I didn't make any progress on my goals whatsoever. The first type of person. The second person is they don't even know where to start. They don't even know how to plan. They don't know anything, so they just don't. And then they sit around moping like, why am I not being as productive as I want to be? And then boom, bam. So you either fall into the first camp or the second camp. Regardless of what you fall into, these ideas are going to help you. But before I get into the topic of how to plan out your day, who am I? I'm Miss Faith, and my goal is to help entrepreneurs, creators, and high achievers reach their goals by teaching you how to take action, stay consistent, and make your goals happen. And if you watch this far into the video, you might as well hit that subscribe button because I do make videos every single day. Alright, now let's get into the bread and butter of the video, which is how to make a better plan. Before you can even think about making a better plan, you gotta think about what really matters to you. Okay, because you might just want to be more productive. Like, that's literally what a plan is, to help you be more productive. But to be more productive, you first gotta understand what it means to be productive. And productivity is not about getting anything done. It's about making the most progress on meaningful activities. So if you want to be more productive and make better plans, you've got to know what really matters to you. What's the end goal you're walking towards? Because that's going to influence your goal, influence your plan. So you got to write down the end goal. For instance, somebody who's overweight, their end goal might be, I want to lose 30 pounds. An entrepreneur, their end goal might be, I want to make 10K a month. A creative, their end goal might be, I want to write the best-selling novel, right? So now that we have the end goal, now we can make a plan. So the plan is basically the stepping stone you're going to take to reach the end goal. And to make a plan work, you really need to answer this one question. What are the 3 most important things you need to do tomorrow to get one step closer towards that end goal? That's it. So you can figure out the top 3 things that make you the most progress. You've got your plan. So right now, comment below what your end goal is. Comment whether you're an entrepreneur, a creative, or a high achiever. And let me know, what is your end goal? And now that you have that written out, the next step is ask yourself, what are the top 3 things you gotta do? And obviously, sometimes you might have a complex end goal, so it might be a little bit harder for you to come up with the answer. Or sometimes the answer might just pop out the top of your head. Regardless though, if you think about it long enough, you find the top 3 things you gotta do. There's always just 3 things you gotta do, honestly. For instance, if you want to be a YouTuber, what's the top 3 things you gotta do to be a YouTuber? Make videos, post them, and come up with ideas. Boom. For somebody who wants to lose weight, what's your top 3 things? Eat healthier, go to the gym, sleep. You feel me? Like, it's not rocket science. You have to allow yourself to think about what really matters. Because honestly, people don't take the time to think about what really matters before they plan. They just plan. They just say, oh, do this, do this, do this, do this, to feel good about themselves because they think the more things you get done, the better they are. But really, it's the less things you get done more often that really matters. Right now, you should have the end goal and the top 3 things that need to get done. And you should also order it from importance. So label it 1, 2, 3. So you're going to focus on 1 first. And you're going to spend all your time on 1. When 1's done, then you go to 2. When 2's done, then you go to 3. And obviously, you don't have to finish them all in one day. If you finish just the first item, which is going to be something hard, because when you think about the top 3 things, these are not easy, simple things. These are things that require your focus. So if you can even finish number 1 in a day, you have made so much more progress in your life. Rather than haphazardly jumping from thing to thing and not really doing something in a meaningful way. You feel me? So you should have the top 3 things listed out in order from the most important to least important. And if it's kind of hard for you to figure out what are the top 3 things, ask yourself, if you only had 1 hour to work towards your end goal, how do you spend the first 50 minutes, and then how do you divvy up the last 10 minutes? And if you can come up with the answer to that, you have your top 3. Alright, now that you have the top 3 things you want to do, the next thing and the last step is coming up with an action plan. Now, action plan basically just tells you exactly what you're going to do. And it's really simple. It's only 4 questions, okay? So the first question is, what are you going to do? Well, you figured out what you want to do because you figured out the top 3 things you need to do to make the most progress on your goals, all right? So what are you going to do? Answer that question. Second one is, when are you going to do it? Now, you can say you're going to do it at a certain time, maybe at like 12 p.m. Maybe you said, as you're creative, you want to write a book. You could say, okay, number 1 question is, what are you going to do? Write a book. Number 2 is, when are you going to do it? Okay, you could say, I'll do it at 12 p.m., time-based, or I'll do it after I go for a walk, event-based. Regardless, you just need to know in your mind when you'll do it, because if you're not specific about when you do it, you'll always push it off because you'll always think, oh, I got time, I can get to it, but time is gonna run out and you're not gonna get started. Okay, so right now, when you're gonna do it. Number 3 is, how long will you do it? Now, you could say, as a writer, oh, I'll just write for 30 minutes, and I always say it's good to have time on how long you're gonna do it, because if you don't have a time, it's just like, okay, I gotta do this thing, how long, I don't really know, it's not specific. But with time, you're more motivated to get started to working on your plan, because you know it's not gonna be something you're doing all day long. You know, you'll get started, you'll finish it, and then you'll be done with it. And at least you'll feel proud because you know you spent time, deliberate time on that thing. Alright, so think about how long you want to spend on that thing. And of course, if you want to spend more time after the timer goes off, do it. But regardless, you just want to spend some time. You want to prioritize spending time on the things that matter. Alright? And the 4th and last question is, where will you do it? And I always say where, because if you can see yourself doing it in your mind, which this question is designed to help you do, it'll make it that much easier for you to actually do it. Because your first battle is doing it in your mind. Alright? Seeing yourself doing it in your mind. And once you have that in your mind, then it's a lot easier for you to take that second step of doing it in your reality. Okay? So now you know how to make a better plan. First, have clarity on what is meaningful to you. What is the end goal? Number 2, ask yourself, what are the 3 key things you can do on that end goal that make the most progress towards it? And number 3, form your action plan by answering the 4 questions. What will you do? When will you do it? How long will you do it? And where will you do it? And if you do that, you will actually make progress on your goals. You'll follow the plan out. It'll be a lot better than what you're doing. I promise you. And as a bonus tip, I would say, if you really want to make the most progress, do everything you said in the morning. And then have the rest of the day do whatever you want. That's why I get up at 4 a.m. So from 4 until 11, I'm working only on my goals and things I need to get done. So then, past 11, I ain't gotta worry about nothing. I know I'm gonna feel lazy on the day. So all I do is read books and walk and go see my family, go see my friends after 11 a.m. So I literally work in the morning on what matters to me. So if you can get that set in, like you wake up and you're focused and you're on in the morning, focused on what you gotta do, you're Gucci. Like, you're good. And you're not gonna have any distractions because who's up in the morning? You feel me? So that's the bonus tip. But regardless, remember, take action, stay consistent, because goals happen, and I will see you later.